We love hip hop.
The killing that happened in Mississauga the other day. Okay, R.I.P. to the young gentleman that passed away or that was killed by police. There's been a little bit of some mixed feelings from the people who've been reviewing this. Okay, I'll play the news story. 19-year-old man shot. Yeah, I'll play the news story first, and then you guys can give me your opinions because it's kind of a mix of. It kind of goes into the teen killers thing that we're talking about over here too. So, a 19-year-old man shot dead by Toronto officer during firearms investigation.
This was a Toronto police investigation that ended on someone's driveway on this quiet residential street in South Mississauga. A 19-year-old man behind the wheel of a Mercedes was shot by a police officer. What led to that deadly interaction is now being analyzed by the Special Investigations Unit. I can tell you I spoke to one neighbor who said that she was already on the phone with 911 when the shots rang out, and other witnesses describe a very chaotic scene.
I heard that loud scream, "Get off of me." And then a huge crash. Like I thought maybe these guys were speed racing and they hit each other, like because they usually burn the tires up and down the street. But anyway, there was a huge crash. Next thing you know, I come outside, the officers giving CPR, and
Holy.
blood everywhere.
Bullets shattered the driver's side window of this white Mercedes that was being surveilled by undercover Toronto police investigators. Will lives one house over from where the 19-year-old man was shot dead by an officer. He tells us just after midnight, he heard the sound of crunching metal and ran outside.
I didn't know it was the officer. At first, I thought it was one of my neighbors giving CPR. So I ran up, and then he started yelling at, get in my line of sight, get in my line of sight. So I moved so he could see me. And then I figured out when I saw the sidearms that it was a police officer.
Across the street, a couple was in their backyard hot tub when they heard the chaos and then 3 shots going off.
I came down around the side of the house and I could see a commotion going on. There was a group of people. People were yelling someone had been shot, to call 911. So I ran back to the backyard to get my phone. And we came back out front. We saw that somebody was receiving first aid, CPR, like chest compressions.
According to the SIU, which is now investigating the interaction and the officer's use of force, there were 5 unmarked police vehicles on this dead-end residential street in South Mississauga. 3 were involved in a collision with the Mercedes. It's unclear how that happened and at what point the officer opened fire. The SIU says right now there is no evidence to suggest an exchange of gunfire.
The officer who discharged the firearm was standing outside on the roadway and then shot into the Mercedes vehicle through the driver's side.
Any reason to believe that the vehicle was driving toward the officer?
It's very early in our investigation to know that. We have 4 investigators, 3 forensic investigators, and a collision reconstructionist who are assigned to the case who will determine what exactly transpired leading up to the shooting and after.
The 19-year-old driver was pronounced dead at the scene, and cameras captured 3 other young people from the Mercedes being handcuffed and taken into custody. The SIU says 2 guns were found in the vicinity of the suspect vehicle. Toronto's police chief only made brief comments.
I'm gonna give you guys a little bit more BTS info as far as the vicinity of the vehicle, but we'll get back to that.
Comments on the incident, telling media the investigation allegedly involved a person who was armed.
Our police officers will go where their criminal investigations lead them. That is a investigation that started in Toronto, concluded in Peel.
Now, the 19-year-old man who was killed has not yet been identified. As for the 3 people taken into custody, at last check, no charges have been laid, but Toronto police say they are in the process of conducting their own criminal investigation. Shauna Hunt, City News, Mississauga.
So, an RIP to that young man. Now, there's been a couple of different things that have been floating around about this, right? One, people are saying, okay, this is a criminal investigation. They were in there to go and investigate for somebody who's, I guess, or they've been investigating guns. I guess there's somebody from the Guns and Gang squad that was probably investigating these individuals here. And this was, I guess, the time when they were going to start moving in on them. So they're, from what I'm assessing, it seemed like a raid gone very wrong. Right, like they said that they've had unmarked cars on the block for a multitude of time, while I guess weeks and stuff like that. So they've definitely been investigating these individuals that were in the car on their way back. As far as they said, what they said in this news report about guns being found in the vicinity, the guns, from what I heard behind the scenes, is when they started doing their search finally, they found 2 guns in the trunk. Okay? Now, I'm not trying to excuse the young individuals, especially, RIP to the young man that got murdered in this incident right here. But at the same time, it was an investigation. It wasn't, oh, these guys were driving reckless and the cops just were a little bit overzealous in the way that they were trying to apprehend them. But you guys can let me know, were they a little overzealous? Like, we covered this not too long ago with LNC Capo and LNC Grind when they got hit by cops while they were on their scooter. And they're okay, yes, there was an investigation going on. These guys were on a scooter, and then these guys hit them with the car, and they got their charges dropped. But in this situation, there was a collision, and then there's a video, and I maybe might be able to find this video online somewhere, where the cop jumps out the car and then starts wetting up the vehicle. So are the cops wrong in this situation, or were they just trying to be as careful as possible for their own safety while apprehending people that they feel might be dangerous suspects? Let me know about that. And like I said, there was some mixed opinions. I wonder if El Jefe still has his post up here. Let's see. Yes, a taser could have been used. All right, so listen, he posted this.
I'm just putting.
Suta El Jefe, the Pollo, says, unfollow me if you support thieves. Straight up. I woke up and y'all ruined the world. Get from around me. I've been seeing it for years now, and I'm sick and tired of it. Stop supporting thieves. They ruin the economy. They make business slow in the end. And hard-working hustlers and businesses suffer. It's the trickling effect. Now, we also covered him because he owns a card store that has like exclusive Pokemon cards and all types of things that are very high value. So they have to be very, very diligent with the way that they bring the inventory in the store and stuff like that. So I feel like he might have been coming from the perspective of, oh, these guys are just like thieves because, he's dealing with his own personal stuff. But let's let him cook.
This out there because I don't understand the world I live in anymore. When was it cool to support thieves? Like, I'm reading these comments and everyone's like, yo, the cops did a terrible thing, this and that. Bro, when people break into your house, aren't you there screaming, please help me? Why aren't you there? They finally getting rid of these pieces of shit. Come on, man, wake up. Be saluting these young, good officers out there. And I don't normally salute officers, but you guys are tripping, man. This is a great thing. We need less of these guys. I'm just putting this out there because I don't understand the world.
He got a lot of backlash for this. Read the article. The car was not stolen. You should apologize to the family for this post. Yeah, the car wasn't stolen. It wasn't like a stolen car incident where the cops wet up. Yo, to be honest, and salute to El Jefe, if it was a stolen car incident, then you gone too fucking far. Like, you're going to wet up the youth for a stolen car incident? That's crazy. If you guys better have pulled out the gun because you know that you're pulling up for a gun investigation. You feel me? So it's better that it was actually what it was than what he might have thought it was. Criminals are humans too. You don't know the facts as to why you started off with your disclaimer. As I said, be mindful of who you're talking of, and they may have patrons have closed your establishment, and now sorry, I can't even read today. They have patrons at your now closed establishment. My bad, because he did have the El Jefe de Pollo restaurant, but it's closed now. Or support your charity drives. This was someone's child. The car wasn't stolen. And that's fact number one. Now, here's the thing. There was a post over here by OVO Chubbs. Or sorry, not Chubbs, Preem. Salute to Preem. And they're saying that this is the individual, and this is courtesy of Torontology Reddit, of course. They're saying that this is the individual that was that life was taken in the incident here. Speechless, bro. Shaking my head. Gonna miss you. My favorite little homie, Kaleem. Rest well. They stole all my chains and fucked up and flicked up, man. Love these kids. They stole all my chains and flicked up, man. Oh, okay. I get what was happening here. These guys took all of Preem's chains and took this picture right here. Like, yo, let me hold a chain for a second, fam. But they're saying that this is the individual that passed away in the incident here. And I did get some confirmations even from behind the scenes that it was somebody who is related, or definitely like related to people in the OVO team, right? Yes, it was in Mississauga, it was in Scarborough, it wasn't in G-Way, but it's somebody who was related. All right. Can Toronto Undies engage with Peel matters? Not enough info to make a definitive statement. Yeah, that's another thing too. The police that apprehended them were Toronto police. They're in Peel. So there must have been something going on. And listen, I'm not trying to shoot the police mad bail or anything like that, right? But I'm just saying that there was a lot going on in this thing here, more than just, oh, we're just running up on some youths. Now, as far as like using force, because they say when it comes to using, when they have to use force in the police stations or whatever, their rules, their force has to be met if they feel that their life is in danger. They have to meet force with equal force. So if they feel that somebody's pulling out a gun on them, or they might be in danger of somebody pulling out a gun on them, then that gives them the Constitution to be able to shoot. Was the car on his own property? I don't know. There's more from the police here. There's a press conference, or a little bit from the press conference. I'll play a little bit.
Everyone, thank you for being here. We're here to provide an update on the homicide investigation into the tragic shooting at the South Son St. Clair Festival on July 11th.
Wrong one. You know why I confused it for a second? Because the age. It's the word 18, 19. Like, all of these guys are not even reaching to, like, full adults yet. Let's do this. Mississauga. That's a mod thing. Driver shot dead, auto theft. That's misinformation. Misinformation. That's nasty. Okay, so did we see this? Yeah, we watched this one already. That's some nasty misinformation. Disinformation.
Of a crash between a Mercedes and three men. One woman so overcome is investigating a police-involved shooting here on a dead-end residential street in the Winston Churchill and Dundas area of Mississauga.
They're going to show his peoples.
As loved ones look on, a teen's body is driven away in a coroner's van. One woman so overcome by grief, she collapses on the ground while paramedics and others come to her assistance.
The mom and the aunt was like yelling that they killed the boy.
This is the aftermath of a crash between a Mercedes and 3 unmarked police cruisers that ended in a 19-year-old's death.
The Mercedes T-boned some minivan that was like backed up into it, and the doors were all open and stuff. So I just thought maybe it was a fight that went out of hand.
Will lives on Delphi Road and says he heard the crash outside his home around 12:20 a.m. and almost immediately the sound.
But
she ran.
People calling out to call 911. I could see a person on the ground and someone was giving them chest compressions.
Originally, the Special Investigations Unit said 5 unmarked cruisers were tracking a stolen Mercedes. However, police clarified this afternoon the car was not stolen.
All I'll say at this point is the investigation regarding somebody who was armed. And our police officers will go where their criminal investigations lead them. That is a investigation that started in Toronto, concluded in Peel, and the SIU's invoked their mandate.
The SIU
Right? It started in Toronto and concluded in Peel.
confirms there was an interaction between 3 unmarked cars and the Mercedes.
There is no indication of there being an exchange of gunfire, but I can tell you that there was to the Mercedes vehicle.
It's very scary. About 2 young boy and a girl handcuffed.
The SIU says the passengers in the Mercedes.
What?
Very scary. And after a while, it was a very, very long time, they took out 2 young boy and a girl handcuffed.
The SIU says the passengers in the Mercedes were uninjured. However, a police officer was taken to hospital with minor injuries after being struck. The SIU says.
Let me read this comment because I think it's very pertinent. Salute to Blue Jays Fitted. He says something isn't adding up. Seems like the car was on his own property. Yes, but tell me more. Even if it is on his own property, let's say he got home, like they're chasing them. Let's say, okay, the unmarked cars let themselves be seen. Boom, we're police. They start letting their lights flash from like off the dashboard or whatever they do. Okay, they got to the property. It doesn't make it any better. Like, I'm not saying, and listen, again, I'm not excusing the police for shooting this young man, but getting to the property is just maybe where there might be more guns, because they said that they found guns in the vicinity, even though they found guns in the trunk. So with that being said also, and I want to even make sure to mention that again, that, and listen, this is not something that was let out in the police report or in the press conference or anything like that. This is what I heard Friday Ricky Dredd doing my journalism from behind the scenes. Okay. Yeah, there was the guns were found in the trunk. I'm not saying that it makes it any better. These guys are individuals, young individuals moving around with firearms, and firearms kill people. Okay. We're dealing with an epidemic right now, which I wish would cool down, but I don't know if I'm the one that people are going to listen to, where we're seeing a lot of young teens or people who are about to become adults that are moving around with guns, and they're not just moving around with guns, they're being hired by organizations that are not just criminal organizations, political organizations, to go carry out shootings. All right, we're going to get to it in a second, but they're using encrypted messaging and all these different, hold on. They're using encrypted messaging and all these different types of things to communicate, to send orders to young teens to go do shootings, whether it's to go hit something or hit nothing, just to make sure that people see that y'all let it off last night, and then send us the photos back through encrypting messaging. I'm just saying, it does sound very tinfoily, but it's happening.
The officer whose actions are being investigated, namely the officer who discharged the firearm, is not the officer who was struck and taken to hospital. Reporting live, I'm Janice Golding. Now back to Nathan.
Thank you, Janice. Toronto's police chief says 2 arrests have been made in the deadly shooting at Salsa on St. Clair last month. Myron Demke told.
We'll get to that in a minute. Let's do this. Let's go to their website. Toronto Police, or their YouTube page. The TPS. The TPS. You know they got their own YouTube channel, right? Man, them go to the TPS YouTube channel. Go watch videos over there. Y'all, they're in the algorithm for y'all. They be posting. 1 day ago, 2 days ago. Oh, you guys don't have this on the main page? 2 days ago, Toronto police results, retail, crime enforcement. South on St. Clair. You say you're subscribed? Should I subscribe? Should I hit them with the sub? Man, fuck it. I'm hitting them with the sub. Subscribe. Notifications on. All right? Do the same over here. Hit the subscribe. Fuck it. All right? I did it.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be here today.
We love Police Network. You're right.
Always ready to work with us and to find ways to better integrate our efforts and deliver even more charges being laid. This is outstanding work by our Toronto police members.
Oh, God. Fuck off.
To retail criminals. We're not talking shoplifters. We're talking the organized, the prolific, the 15% that causes 90% of the issues. We need integrated intelligence models, including an ORC joint force operation framework developed with police partners. Now, investigators, it's retraining them, because when you're interacting with someone now and you're making an arrest, if they choose to do so, the level of training is different. You have no idea what the reaction of the individual is going to be, whether they're going to produce a weapon, put that person in harm.
Okay, I think they're talking about this here.
Other forms of crime? Is this a bigger situation?
So, yes, in the fact that we believe that money is going to fuel other types of organized, be involved in crimes. And then
let's go back a little.
You mentioned addressing these crimes at the root cause. What is that root cause, and how are those being addressed?
So it all comes down, quite frankly, to money. These people make a lot of money from this. And that is really the root cause. And it's how they get this money by creating, by being involved in crimes and then distributing this property to others.
What's up with my youth's hair, fam? I'm sorry. Sidetrack, no sidetrack. But your hair looks crazy, old man. Wagwan, just let it go, my nigga. Put on a hat. This looks nuts. The guy got the straight on the side and the curl on the top, bro. Like, you look crazy, old man. What is this name? What's his name? Taverner? Taverner, you look nuts, bro.
Do you then connect the money involved in this to other forms of crime? Is this a bigger situation?
So, yes, in the fact that we believe that money is going to fuel other types of organized crime issues, yes.
Just if you're able to explain a little of those impacts on your retailers that you're representing, what are some of the things that they experience as a result of this?
Yeah, so I'll start with people first.
Man, fuck off. Get to the shits. Hold on, I'll find one more. I just want to find one more video on this. Mississauga. I'm not jealous of this guy's hair. This guy's hair is trash. That's the worst fucking hairdo I ever seen in my life, bro. Go arrest a hairdresser who did that, fam. That shit is nasty. Holy shit, man. Nigga put gel in that shit, bro. You look like a doofus. Let's see what this nigga got to say.
बीती रात 12:30 बजे ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ
Why did I go for this one? That looks worse than a wig, fam. Charges laid in connection to firearms probe.
More details today about a Toronto police investigation that led to an officer fatally shooting a man in Mississauga. A 19-year-old man was shot and killed in the College Way and Winston Churchill Boulevard area early yesterday. Police say officers were attempting to stop a suspect vehicle. That's when it attempted to flee and then struck a plainclothes officer. The vehicle had been tracked from Toronto.
Oh, shit. You heard that?
Boulevard area early yesterday. Police say officers were attempting to stop a suspect vehicle. That's when it attempted to flee and then struck a plainclothes officer. The vehicle had been tracked from Toronto after police earlier received a report.
As loved ones look on.
More details today about a Toronto police area early yesterday.
They struck a plainclothes officer? That's crazy. I don't know if they knew that it was a plainclothes officer, but like, you know what? I don't know if you guys have ever been raided before, but I as somebody who's been raided, but I was raided at the crib. I wasn't raided in the car. I had a friend that was raided in this car, but like people just start running at your whip. Obviously, you'll see like the plainclothes officer or the whatchamacallit, the ETF, right? Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop the car! Like they'll get crazy like that, right? So they make sure that they make a lot of noise to discombobulate the person and shit like that. But like this plainclothes, more times they got the badge around their neck. You can see that you can see them kind of like flying over, sliding over cars, like the movies and all that type of shit. Like they're doing everything they can to get to you. Like that motherfucker who's running at you, he's not running at you to try to help you. Right? It's running at you because like he's trying to grab you and arrest you too. Right? So I don't know. I wasn't there. RIP to that young man once again. Him and the other people in the car, to be honest, are the only other people who would know what was the actions that happened in between them trying to stop these guys in the car and then the cops deciding, okay, we got to let off. All right? And listen, again, I'm not trying to shoot the cops any bail because the cops have let off on people who are pulling their cell phone out their pocket and not under some, let me pull my cell phone out of the out of my waistline. Like, no, like, man's like, get on your stomach. Go to take your cell phone out your pocket or whatever. Boom, shot in the face. Niggas getting shot in the back, all types of shit over the years. Okay? But, like, this might not be one of those situations is what I'm trying to say.
Please.
We don't know if it was pulled out, their badge, plus no body cams. No body cam. We need to be more diligent on the body cams over here.
Officers were attempting to stop a suspect vehicle. That's when it attempted to flee and then struck a plainclothes officer. The vehicle had been tracked from Toronto after police earlier received a report about a person with a gun in the Esplanade and Lower Jarvis Street area. There were 3 other people in the car in addition.
That's what I don't like. So they got reported that was a person with a gun in the Esplanade area. So this started the investigation where they had to go and trail them from the Esplanade down to Mississauga. There's a little bit more than that. That's what the cops told you.
In the Esplanade and Lower Jarvis Street area. There were 3 other people in the car in addition to the man killed. All were arrested. 23-year-old Naquan Laidley of Toronto, 19-year-old Kahim Bailey Whitfield of Mississauga, and a 17-year-old girl each face multiple weapons and other charges. Ontario's police watchdog continues to investigate the deadly shooting.
Oof. What do y'all think, gang? How old was I? I was actually in my early 30s, to be honest, when I got raided into my bid, not the little in and out of the jail types of things. When I got my bid, I was in my early 30s. But with this right here, I asked in the poll, and again, RIP to that young man. Did the officer use too much force? 54% of y'all say yes, and 46% of y'all say no. So it's not like a landslide over here. Like there's a lot of y'all that are like, this is justified force. All right, I'll paraphrase maybe what you guys might be thinking, or maybe just assume what you're thinking, that, these guys are being investigated, firearms are involved, the cops have to come in, not guns blazing, but they're going to have to come in with their guns at least drawn. There was an altercation, for lack of a better term, that happened with the vehicle hitting one of the unmarked cops, and then it led to gunfire. It's sad, but to be honest, these are the choices that happen when you get into the streets, fam. Like, if you guys have guns in the car, and I'm not saying that your lives had to be taken, I'm not saying that at all, but you would have way less chances of having to worry about your life being taken by the cops, by the ops, whoever else, if them weren't involved in that. And I'm talking as a man who used to be involved in that type of shit. I'm not trying to judge y'all niggas because I know it is what it is. But once you get into the lifestyle where there's guns and drugs in your car and thousands of dollars, and I want to drive the Mercedes and that and that and that, bro, a lot of shit comes with it. You know what I'm saying? So, again, RIP to that young man. But a series of choices got us into a extremely horrible situation to where we are now. And it's unfortunate for him because he's so young, but he didn't get enough time to make enough bad choices to learn from, unfortunately. Right? So this is like a harsh lesson that people should learn from. But yeah, I'll leave that there.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.